here. Shots on goal after 2 periods favor your Icemen 22-19. But trailing by 1. Ferris or Porosny turns over the puck on the loose. Wet, unfrozen ice, and a subsequent pass. Porosny to Weeks to Sawyers. This ice, it's not frozen, might come into play yet as the Kings bring it in. Get a line change in as the Kings player is pulled down on the way to the cage. And your Iceman will be back on the penalty kill. Looks like Jordan is down in discomfort. The trainer out to check on Jordan as he went down awkwardly as the Kings player drove to the cage, favoring his right leg. It's like a holding penalty coming to Homulus. The Kings will be on the power play. Jordan back up to one knee. Perkus stretching next to the bench. So Jordan will exit the game. He's back up to his feet. Perkus will come in relief. Looks like he's actually favoring his left leg, so it would be the opposite leg from where the player drove to the net. Well, I didn't see exactly how he went down when the collision happened. At any rate, Perkus is in, Homulus is in the sin bin, and your Icemen are back on the PK. Good stop by Perkus. Feeling the puck here, a good stop off the blocker. He'll come out to the top of the blue plate to cut down the angle. Move back to the top. Over to the half wall. Sharp shot up off the shoulder of Perkus as he was able to get a piece of that too. Bender, Giamaroli. Errant pass is picked off by Giamaroli. Bender's going to go get a change in. Weeks will come out for him. Carrier and Foot on the back end. The Kings able to gain the zone. Carrier pounds it down the ice. Giamaroli off. Gwinnett on. Ferris on. Weeks almost forces a turnover. And half the penalty has eroded to Homulus. Good stop again from the goal line by Perkus. Another infraction coming as the official's arm is back up. And another power play extinguished by the Kings as they will take a hooking penalty. And provide some 4-on-4 play for your Icemen as they try to tie things up at 2. Shots on goal in the first period, 22-19 in favor of your Icemen. Just over 2 minutes into this final frame from Kinsman Twin Arenas. Ferris with the puck off the face-off win by your Icemen. Ferris curls back, fired, and hits a shin pad of the forward, but Weeks able to pick that up and keep it in the zone. He's out here with Porosny. 4-on-4, but Iceman working around like a power play. Carrier shovels it to the net. That goes off a body. Doesn't make it to the cage, and Ferris will have to giddy up to get back in to the zone to negate turning over the puck. Good hit by the Kings player to try to push Ferris off the puck. Still was even strength. Now it's a power play. As Homulus is out of the sin bin. Weeks will gain the zone. Drops it for Porosny. Porosny tries to send that back door to Homulus. That doesn't connect. The puck will be moved up to the top by Weeks. Weeks gives it to Foot. Good job to get it back. Ooh, loose puck right in front is Hasanoff. fought that off, and the puck was loose right there in the blue paint. Porosny, back to Weeks, back door to Homulus, misfires. Is a great pass and a great passing play by your Iceman to try to convert on the power play. 32 seconds remaining in your Iceman power play. Is Carrier back to pick it up. Carrier, foot, Binder. Binder forced off the puck. He'll have to circle back. Vanderham and Knapczyk out here as well. That's into the linesman's feet and a turnover at the Iceman line. Knapczyk stripped off the puck. They'll be slid back into the Iceman zone as the power play expires. Your Iceman unable to capitalize as we're back to full strength. Pass to Vanderham. That's up to center, but no further. The Kings just content with trying to kill the clock. Knapczyk into a skate as he tried to fire that out on net as Vanderham drove the slot. And another infraction coming is, I think it's going to be Knapczyk for holding. Hook. So Knapczyk will be going off for hooking. They'll have to get a new twig first as his twig snapped. And Jordan is back in between the pipes. Good to see Jordan is back, considering your Icemen have some league games as well as the tournament in Toronto upcoming. Very happy to see Jordan back in net. Knapczyk in the box for hooking with a new twig. Shot in on net, rebound, and the Kings convert on the power play. Third power play goal. All goals scored in this game by the Kings have been on the power play, and they are up 3-1. So an unfortunate scenario by your Icemen, but special teams becoming a real factor as the Kings score 3 power play goals to take a 2-goal lead. And another penalty upcoming, delayed penalty coming to the Kings as Vanderham drives to the hole, pushed off the puck, and your Iceman will go back on the power play. About 12 seconds of 5-on-5 play, and we're right back into special teams. 4-minute penalty for spearing assessed to the Kings player. So a double minor, and your Iceman with a glorious opportunity to cut the lead here. The Kings able to get the proper resources on the ice, and a face-off to the right of Hasanoff is won by your Iceman. Work back up to the top to Porosny, to the half wall to Weeks. Weeks walks all the way down to the hash marks and fires short side. That's steered into the corner by the blocker of Hasanoff. Back to the flank to Weeks. Weeks moves it down low. Back up to the flank. Back door. Looking for Ferris. Great pass by Weeks through the seam. Hard pass to Weeks. Skips off his stick, but it's corralled again by Weeks. Weeks able to go give and go down low. Centering pass broken up by the Kings, but Porosny will get it at the top. To Weeks again. Weeks looks. Backhand through the traffic, right to Ferris on the back door. He's hounded by a Kings player, unable to corral that. Fires upstairs! Weeks across through the seam to Sawyers. As the Kings, I think, just thought that the Icemen were going to regroup. Weeks finds Sawyers on the far side, and Sawyers unloads a one-timer up over Hasanoff into the top corner as Hasanoff is taking a second glimpse at his glove in disbelief. So your Icemen answer back with a power play goal of their own. 1 for 3 on the power play. And a 1-goal differential here with 3:55 remaining in the third period. That goal scored on the first of a double minor assessed for spearing. So your Icemen still on the power play. Romulus back to pick up the puck. Romulus forced into the corner. Kings able to force a turnover. Knapsack come back to help out Romulus. Knapsack will pick it up behind his own net. Knapsack looks. He'll gain center. Knapsack able to get it in. Good job by Foot to keep it in. He'll slow things down. Move it back to the point to Romulus. Romulus tipped on net. Smith able to tip it on net on the way. Almost went through the wickets of Hasanoff. And the Kings able to fire it back down the ice. Pass into the skates of Smith. Sawyers will pick that up. And a glove pass is called. Smith with a little extracurricular with a Kings player right at the bench as he went off. No penalty on the play. And Kings players looking for a infraction to be called, but none to be had. Hoping that the power play would be canceled for the Icemen. Face off just at the Icemen blue line in front of the Icemen bench. 3-2 lead for the Kings. 37 seconds remaining on the power play. Your Icemen scoring on the first of the double minor, the first half. Looking to even things up on the second half of this double minor as Vanderham will drive into the zone. Vanderham back to the point, eludes Ferris, and that'll come back out into the Icemen zone, into the Icemen zone as Perazzi has to double back. 10 seconds remaining in the power play. Weeks moves it back to Perazzi. You'll have to chase it off to the opposite side. And the Icemen capitalize on 1 of 2 of the double minors. And the Kings kill off the second half, and we're back to 5-on-5. Ferris able to evade a check. The Kings force a turnover momentarily. Sawyers drives wide on his man. Good stick at the Kings blue line to negate that entry by Sawyers. And the Kings push the puck back into the Icemen zone. Foot hard up the Knapsack. Knapsack moves it to Sawyers. That's off his stick. And the Kings will counter the other way. The Kings in over the blue line. Centering pass back door. Jordan with a stop. It's loose. And bodies fly. I believe the Iceman took liberty at Jordan being hit to the ice, and we'll see what's going to happen here for penalized infractions. So with 11:14 remaining in this third period, great job by Jordan to keep it out, but then he was hammered and Foot came in defense of his goalie. Looks like 2 infractions for the Kings and 1 for the Icemen at this moment. The official into the scorekeeper's window. So a 1-goal lead for the Southwest Kings. 3-2 as Ferris and the Kings captain come over to find out the letter of the law that has been laid down here. I think I would imagine Glenn, our timesheet parent for tonight and our home games, will be either running out of paper or running out of ink with the amount of infractions that have been called. So a double minor assessed to the Kings player at this time. It's up on the board. Oh, looks like a 5-minute major. So if it's a 5-minute major, I would imagine that player is gone. He'll be escorted from the ice surface. So it'll be a 5-minute power play for your Icemen with 11:14 remaining in this third frame, and a glorious opportunity to tie things up at 3 here as number 11 for the Kings is getting the gate. So the face-off will be to the right of Hasanoff. It'll be a number 23 for the Kings will come in, I believe, to serve the penalty. Still trying to figure out who will be serving, I believe, the penalty for the player that has got 5 in a game. So once we get the numbers sorted out here, it'll be a 5-minute power play for your Icemen. Face off to the right of Hasanoff when we are underway here. A glorious opportunity for your Icemen to strike and tie things up. And in short order, the official's arm is up, and we have another infraction. It's going to be an interference call. And all of 6 seconds on the power play, and the officials called another penalty. Vanderham will get the gate for interference. It'll be 4-on-4 as the face-off comes back down into the Iceman zone. It's a revolving carousel of special teams tonight, like I have not seen any time before. Outlet pass. Doesn't work. Ferris will chip that up the wall. Or chip that over to the wall. The Weeks turnover. We'll try to go backdoor. That's right there in front of Jordan. He's able to smother that with a glove for a whistle. So we'll have 1:43 of 4-on-4 play before the Icemen go back on the power play. That's if we do not have an infraction before then. 4-on-4. 1-goal lead for the Kings. 10:31 remaining in this third period, and you can see that just the flow of this game has been eaten up by special teams. And you can tell the players just trying to get back into the flow of the game here. Has been so many disruptions in the flow. Chipped up along the boards, not able to get it out, and the Kings come back the other way. Backdoor pass just off the heel of a stick of the Kings player as he tried to tuck that in past Jordan. And he looks skyward as misplayed on that glorious opportunity. And Homulas is going to go to the box as the Kings player turns to protect the puck. Homulas finishes his check. And the official just going to continue to hand out paperwork here as Ferris is going to get an unsportsmanlike or 10-minute misconduct as well. Well, the other concern is that the Icemen now have 3 defensemen in the box out of 5. So we'll have to see what happens here. So it looks like I'm gathering he's going to give Ferris 10-minute misconduct. He's given Romulus the boot. For what? I don't know. If he's calling a hit from behind, it was not along the boards. Coach Ferris getting some clarification. I don't know if there'll be any clarification on this, but and the call went out for defensemen on the Iceman bench, so I see Sawyers and Smith now playing D as Romulus and Ferris have got the gate, so I'm gathering Ferris got a 10-minute misconduct. Snagged by Jourdain. Great glove. So that puck forced the turnover. So from a power play to a penalty kill, 4-on-3 for the Kings now. Face off to the left of Jourdain. So it'll be Sawyers and Smith. Looks like the next out on the D as Carrero and Carrier on the ice right now. Foot is in the box, and Romulus was given the gate, I believe 5 in a game. Shockingly, for good job by Carrier to finish his check along the boards. The Kings able to pick it up and bring it up to the top. No-look shot blocked by Carrero. Great job to get in the lane there. Prevent that from getting to the cage. Kings player loses the handle. Carrier almost gets that. It's back to 4-on-4. Backdoor pass again, broken up by Carrier, who chops that out into the neutral zone. Vanderham almost strips his man of the puck. So Smith and Sawyers, the D pair here now, as the line's completely in a blender. We're back to 4-on-4 briefly, and it's tough for the players to know if it's a penalty kill, a power play, or even strength, and so an icing is called. 3-2 lead for the Southwest Zone 702 Kings. Over your Icemen, we're back to 4-on-4 play now for the time being. Sawyers gets the puck along the half wall. He'll give it to Vanderham. Vanderham chips it back into the zone, though. Doesn't get out. Vanderham takes a run at his man. That's chipped around to the opposite corner. Gwinnett lobs it up into the neutral zone. That's picked off by a Kings player who's hounded by Vanderham. Gwinnett forces a turnover. Vanderham picks it up, fires it out on net. And Hasanoff easily steers that aside, and then it's going to be blown down on the, what I believe is the icing, though. Both benches don't know if we're even strength or shorthanded or what the situation is by this point. And since it's 4-on-4, it will be at center ice. So as I see it right now, it'll be 5-on-4 for your Icemen. We're back to the power play they had about 8 minutes ago. Minute 35 remaining in the power play for your Icemen as Perozzi comes back to pick up the puck. 7:41 remaining in the third period. Your Icemen looking to tie the game here on the man advantage. 1 for 3 at this point. Chipped in by Weeks. Weeks tries to center that to Smith. He's forced off the puck. Vanderham gets it. Moves it to Perosny. Perosny to Sawyer. Sawyer's shot through the 5-hole. And Smith wreaking havoc in front, tying up his man. Perosny able to slide in to the bottom of the circle. Perosny goes 5-hole on Hasanoff. And your Sarah Icemen score on the power play. 5 power play goals in this specialized unit game. The amount of power plays and penalty kills in this game. Forced turnover by the Kings. Shot in. Kept out. Rebound. Swatted out by Vanderham, I think, right on the goal line. That was close as the Kings almost answer back within 10 seconds of the power play goal by your Iceman. Perosny to Vanderham. Vanderham gains the zone. Vanderham stops. Feeds it through the slot. Smith with a rebound off a body. And it stays out, and the Kings are back the other way. Perosny forces his man into the corner. Centering pass. Smothered by Jordan, and he'll hold on for a whistle. So the Kings almost come back and score Jordan a goal to regain the lead. So like I said, special teams becoming a factor here. The Kings scoring 3 power play goals. Your Icemen scoring 2 in this contest. As Carrera will pick up the puck and protect it behind his own net. Give it to Binder. Binder comes out of the zone, loses it momentarily, picks it up again. He'll gain the zone. 8 seconds remaining on the power play as Binder surveys his options. Back to the point to Carrero. Carrero sifts it in on net. Rebound. Oh! Vanderhoff unable to corral that, and that went to the short side and was free for the pickings for the Icemen, and the Kings just fire it down the ice at the end of the power play, and it'll be an icing. So the faceoff will be back in the King zone. Six goals scored in this game, 5 on the power play between the two teams as his carrier fires that puck in and it hits Knapsack. The Kings back the other way. Kings player had to slam on the brakes to stay on side. Carrier push that around to the corner. Knapsack will get pinned along the boards. The Kings able to get it out. Kings player turns and fires into a sea of bodies. And that goes to the opposite corner. Bender trying to retrieve that puck along the wall. The Kings able to retrieve it. Centering pass doesn't work as the Kings player tries to fire it in from the top of the circles, and that's broken up and back out to center momentarily. Gwinnett slows things down to Carrier, to Bender. Bender over the blue line. Comes in. Low shot, tries to go blocker side, far side. Carrier pinches down, keeps that in momentarily. He'll retreat to the blue line, but stiffed it to the goal line to Vanderham. Vanderham, second and third chance at it, and the Kings tender able to grab that in the glove. This game still ticking along in the third period. Just under 5 minutes remaining in a 3-3 draw. Kings player waved out of the face-off circle. Face-off to the right of Hasanoff. Vanderham wins the draw to Foot. Foot will rim it around to the opposite side. Smith and Giamaroli out here give chase. Force the turnover back to Sawyer. Smith tries to tip it as Sayers sails that one in on net. Smith muscles his man off the puck, and Giamaroli will help out and rim it around to the opposite corner. Smith gives chase again. The Kings player down in the corner. Kings player is back up to his feet. That's good to see. It's Coach Ferris able to get a line change in. Weeks will come out, centering a line of Porosny and Gwinnett. Foot and Sawyers on the back end. Now a full complement of, you count Sawyers, 4 defensemen to choose from on the back end, as Romulus and Ferris were sent to the change room early. Porosny forced off the puck at the blue line, but he'll get that in momentarily. That's chipped up. Foot gives chase, trying to chip it out of the zone. That doesn't work. Centering pass, back door. Handcuffs the Kings player as he drove to the far post, looking to get that. And a shot off from the near side, coming to the center in the high slot. Just gets past Jordan. The Kings will take a 4-3 lead with 3:59 remaining in this third period. A rare even strength goal here in this low scoring event. Porosny moves it over to Foot. Foot muscled off the puck. Porosny comes back to help. We'll move it back to Sawyers. Sawyers up to Gwinnett. Gwinnett will chip it in. Tries to get in deep. That doesn't work. It's broken up. Weeks tries to move it in again. That's sent sliding and careening back into the neutral zone. Foot quick up to Gwinnett. Gwinnett chips it to Porosny. Porosny gets around his man. Tries to go short side upstairs. Nice job to evade the defender there. Sawyers gets the shot away, but pounded to the ice. So Kings player finished his check hard on Sawyers at the blue line. Porosny picks it up. Sawyers back up, no worse for wear. Porosny stripped to the puck. The Kings up off the glass. Sawyers keeps it in. Not even a signal from the linesman whether that was offside or good. And an infraction is coming as a hit to the head is called by the official, and your Iceman will go back to the sin bin. The Sawyers into the sin bin for hit to the head. 2-minute hit to the head. The Kings will go on the power play, and so your Iceman will have to bear down here. Both teams were surprised it was going to be 5-on-4. 5-on-4 power play for the Kings. Face off to the left of Jordan. Carrier to the blue line, but not out. Kept in by the Kings. Worked across to the opposite side. Giamaroli and Binder. Out here with Carrero and Carrier. Binder moves it up to Giamaroli, just out of his reach, and the Kings will regroup in the neutral zone. Shot misses its mark and careens back out to the blue line as the Kings able to pick it up. Slow things down here as Binder tries to force his man off the puck at the blue line. Kept in, shot way off the mark and sails around to the opposite side. Picked up off the half wall. Fired in again. Hits the glass. 1:12 remaining. Good block by Giamaroli. That shot right into Giamaroli. Goes to the half wall. The Kings able to keep it in though. Shot through traffic. Rebound. And off the back wall, the Kings able to deposit it in the net and score yet another power play goal. So the Kings with 4 power play goals in this game. Only one coming at even strength. Now lead 5-3 with 1:54 remaining in the third period. Smith and Foote on the back end. Smith playing D for this shift. Gwinnett, Porosny, Weeks. Jourdain smothers that up for a whistle. And the face-off will be to the right of Jourdain. The special teams, the story of the game here tonight with all the infractions called as well as all the power play goals. 6 power play goals scored in total between the two teams. That puck was blocked but not out at the blue line. It's going to be waved down on the delayed offside. I couldn't tell. Officials, good outlet pass. Foote to Smith, great outlet pass up to Gwinnett. Centering pass, rebound. Oh! Gwinnett found himself trying to tuck that in on a sharp angle. Smith back to pick it up. Hard pass up to Gwinnett. Skip back out in the neutral zone. Foote back to pick it up. He'll reverse. Move it up the half wall to Gwinnett. Gwinnett through his legs, tries to find Porosny, but the Kings shovel it back down in with 1 minute remaining. Centering pass doesn't work. The Kings able to bring it up across to the opposite side. Fanned on by the Kings, and Porosny able to clear it up to Gwinnett. Gwinnett brings it in over the blue line, and will shovel it low. 34 seconds remaining in the third period. Here, Icemen trailing by 2. Just to the blue line, but no further, as Carrero will lob that into the Icemen bench. "20 seconds remaining. Vanderham back to pick it up, tries to get it up the wall to Knapczyk. That doesn't work. Kings center that again, and Jourdain able to snag that with a glove. The Kings player chops at that. Official wondering why the Kings player is halfway over the bench with 8 seconds remaining in this game. Face-off won by the Kings, straight through on net, and Jourdain picks that again, but swung at again by the Kings player. Face-off again, 5 seconds remaining. And as time elapses, the Icemen going down in defeat to the SWZ702 Kings by a final score of 5-3 from the Kinsman Twin Arenas in Edmonton, Alberta. Shots on goal for your Sierra Icemen, 3-period total of 32, and for the Southwest Zone 702 Kings, 33. But the Kings come away with the 2 points. Thanks again for joining us tonight. Thank you to Robin for running the camera as usual. And putting up with me talking in her ear all night. I hope you join us next game when the Icemen are back on the ice. Which is Wednesday versus Stony Plain.
6:30 p.m.
At 6:30 p.m. Thank you, Robin. Wednesday, Stony Plain at 6:30 p.m. Your Icemen are back on the ice. I hope you'll be able to join us then or be able to watch in person.